You're listening to a mini episode of the Maternal Being Podcast, Self-Care for Moms. I'm your host, Balisa, and this is your dose of motivation, filled with carefully selected affirmations, messages, or reminders to help you nurture and inspire the amazing woman behind the mom. Yes, I'm talking about you. Let's dive right in. In the previous episode, we spoke about the limiting beliefs that we often struggle with when it comes to self-care. We spoke about how we're conditioned to believe that being a good mom means constant self-sacrifice. And somewhere along the way, we've learned that taking care of ourselves is a luxury we can't afford. Now, these ideas are so ingrained in us that they become a huge mental barrier to practicing self-care. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, please tap back when you can or go to the link in the show notes because that episode really does set the stage for today's message. Now, we know that getting past our limiting beliefs can be tough. We feel guilty that focusing on ourselves somehow takes something away from our kids. And we're afraid that if we ask for help or admit that we're tired, we'll be seen as weak. But we can't let these limiting beliefs that we have hold us back. We can't let them hold us back from reaching the full potential of what our motherhood story could be, right? Or what our life story could be. We need to keep questioning these beliefs to remind ourselves that they're not true. And we need to replace them with empowering beliefs. And that's where today's affirmations come in. These affirmations, when practiced and repeated regularly, will help you shift those limiting beliefs, just shove them aside, move them aside, and embrace the truth, which is that you are worthy of care just as much as anyone else. Affirmation number 1. I am a mother, but I am also an individual with my own needs and desires. Nurturing both parts of myself makes me whole. I am a mother, but I am also an individual with my own needs and desires. Nurturing both parts of myself makes me whole. I really love that one. My friend, we pour so much of ourselves into motherhood that we sometimes forget that there's a woman behind the mom, and she deserves to be nurtured too. When we take care of ourselves, we're not abandoning our kids. We're not abandoning motherhood. We're adding to it. Because you're not just a mom. You're also an individual, and nurturing both is what keeps you happy and healthy. The individual needs the mother, and the mother needs the individual. Affirmation number 2. I am not perfect, and I don't need to be. My worth is not tied to how much I can endure without rest. I am not perfect, and I don't need to be. My worth is not tied to how much I can endure. Mama, we have to release the pressure of perfection. We have to let it go. We often think that we have to do it all, keep going, and somehow prove ourselves by how much we can endure. But guess what? Your worth is not tied to how much you can push through. You don't need to be supermom. Affirmation number 3. I am allowed to grow, change, and take up space beyond motherhood. Who I am matters, and I am worthy of care. I am allowed to grow, change, and take up space beyond motherhood. Who I am matters, and I am worthy of care. As humans, as people, we are constantly evolving, even after we become mothers. That growth is something that should be celebrated, not hidden or not prevented. You're allowed to take up space. You matter, and that's why you're worthy of care. I need you to remember that affirmations are a practice. Just like anything else, they take time. You might not notice a shift right away, but if you stick with them, they'll start to seep into your subconscious. Think of it this way. Affirmations are like planting seeds for the mindset you want to grow. Over time, when you repeat these affirmations, they start to change the way that you see yourself and the way you show up in the world. So be patient with yourself, my friend, and be consistent. If you loved today's affirmations, please leave a review. I would love to hear how these affirmations are helping you. And remember, you can download the free Self-Love for Mama workbook, which was created to help you break through the barriers preventing you from prioritizing your wellness and putting yourself first. Scroll down to the bottom of the show notes and you'll find the link right there. In the next episode of the podcast, we're talking about what to do after you've squashed your limiting beliefs. And that's starting your self-care journey. And in particular, starting small, and how doing that can make a big difference to your self-care journey. That brings us to the end of the episode. If you felt moved or motivated by what you heard today, please share this episode with a friend. And if you have an inspiring message or story to share with moms out there, connect with me on Instagram @maternalbeing. I could feature your message in an upcoming episode. Join me next time for more motivation made for moms. Until then, take care